Hello and welcome back to Axis and Allies. This video will be the start of my second match within the A&A Club. Roughly a month's passed and now the second matches are starting. And this will be the team game that I'll be participating in. It is Panzers East versus Battleships. This is the lineup here. And I'm playing the Allies this time. So, I'll be playing the US. Then you have Meaty Bites playing Russia. And then Joe Schmo, who was my previous ally as Japan, who will be playing as the United Kingdom. Versus Battleships, El Jeffy, and Husky. Now, I'm pretty sure I have showcased a game against Husky before. And he was from what I remember, he was a pretty experienced Axis player. So, looks like they stuck him on both Axis games. So, without further ado, let's get on with it. Alright, let's get on with this game here. That one. Let's have a look. Alright, so here we are. Meaty Bites as Russia. El Jeffy as Germany. Joe Schmo as United Kingdom. Husky as Japan. And myself as the United States. This should be a nice little setup going on here. I'll be taking my turn at the very end. And I can showcase the entire round in a natural order. Alright, so let's have a look what's going on here. So, my ally opted for 4 infantry, 2 tanks. Pretty standard. 4 infantry to the Caucasus, 2 tanks to Russia. Now, he had a below average West Russia, or that's just straight up average. I forget if it's 2 or 3. That's the average. But then a horrid Ukraine result. Yeah, lost everything and failed to take the territory. But did not lose the fighters, so that was important. Now, Russia failing Ukraine, in my opinion, is quite catastrophic for Russia. Because it normally exposes the Caucasus and it really does opt for that dangerous Ukraine stack round 1 from Germany. But Germany has not opted for this. I feel like if Germany opted for a more aggressive buy, Russia would be in a lot more trouble. Right, the Germans bought a fighter, 10 infantry. I'm not sure about the fighter buy. He didn't risk any fighters, so he's just got a bonus fighter. I mean, yeah, fair enough, I guess. 6 air for Germany is quite intimidating. Yeah, I can't say I've seen a fighter buy round 1 for Germany. So we'll see what that adds to the German Empire here. Yeah, took Karelia for free, killed the destroyer in 17. Took Trans, no units lost. Went for C-Zone 10, went for my gamble. Well, it's not, I don't own the gamble, but what I opt for. Lost the destroyer, so that was pretty clutch. He failed that, so that's pretty nice. Lost 2 subs in C-Zone 7. So a pretty bog standard Germany round 1. Not too intimidating, but did stack Karelia. I don't know if Russia's going to go for that. I don't think we've discussed it that much. If it's worth punishing, I might go over it after I've taken my turn. It's normally why you buy this buy. I won't advocate to go for it, because I go for the buy myself, and I don't tend to punish Germany unless it's overwhelming odds. Last time I tried punishing Germany, against El Capo, it just didn't work, and I had bonus tanks, so it really is a iffy battle for Russia. Right, the United Kingdom, my ally here, Doshmo again. 3 infantry, 2 fighters. Bog standard. There's no point putting a fleet down. And we're going to opt for a West Russia stack. And from, I think I did calculate it earlier, the worst case scenario, Germany has a 61%. Russia can commit 1 infantry to Ukraine, 1 to Bello, fighter and fighter, and pray that he kills the unit. Worst case scenario, he doesn't kill either of them and loses 2 infantry. It will be 10 infantry, 9 tanks, 6 fighters for a 61% on West Russia. Would Germany take that? I'm not sure. Maybe. Maybe a strafe. That's 2 AA guns, and that's 6 fighters, so the potential is pretty high there. So yeah, he just sent his, UK sent his fighters over. This would be an interesting dynamic, because I do think the Allied team is more complex in its planning for its rounds. Normally, when I play as the Allies, I plan my entire round on UK turn, on the UK's turn. I base my entire setup on the UK's logistics. Whether it's a KGF or KJF, it doesn't matter. The UK is like the glue, I suppose you could call them, of the Allies. So the United Kingdom here took out the transport in 5. Took back Transjordan, losing an infantry. Picked up guys from Transjordan and helped out. Lost the bomber, killing the battleship. There was quite a bit of back and forth about whether to do this now or let me handle it. But since we're opting for this West Russia stack, the US fighter must go here. And doing this move round 1 does give the UK peace of mind. Because the time, since US won't have the timing to kill it round 2, because the fighter has to go here, the latest I can kill it will be round 3, when I stack 13 and have a carrier, at least 2 fighters, a bomber, or at least the fleet if I'm doing Medshuck. I don't know what I'm doing with the US at all. It completely depends on Germany's moves. So yeah, he lost the bomber and then took out the destroyer and transport, losing the aircraft carrier in 61. Now you might be looking at China right now. It's looking a bit rough for Japan. Well, yeah, because they had a rough round they did. So it's excellent for us, for the Allies. 3 transports, 1 infantry, 1 tank. This is like an anti-India buy, so we will have to be careful with that. But the UK can make it. I have offered UK to abandon Africa, and I'll supplement the units to fend off the Germans and deal with it myself. What I normally do, I normally just give up Africa round by the first couple rounds. It really does depend on the situation, just to stop the India free timing. It looks like it might happen because Japan didn't do Pearl, so he's got a lot of free material here. So yes, a lot happened on Japan's turn. Took out the transport, 34, landed the fighter in Libya. Killed the cruiser. Lost an infantry taking Yunnan. Killed the Berry unit, no units lost. Attacked Szechuan with its one of the most effective defenses that you could have for Szechuan on round 1. 3 infantry and 2 fighters. Hitting that seems insane to me, but apparently this is a characteristic of Husky. He likes to be quite aggressive with his Japan, and I'm pretty sure he pulled that. My allies' placement, I think he pulled off a tank and fighter blitz and wiped out an infantry stack. Kazakh that one game, I think that was him. I don't remember. It's been like months since that game. Yeah, he lost an infantry, artillery, and fighter. In my opinion, he's lucky he didn't get burned. It seemed a bit insane to hit that. But he lost a fighter, so I guess we'll take it. Unfortunate about the UK fighter. But at least I keep my US one. Attacked Onway, losing 5 infantry. Absolutely insane. I have not seen an Onway go this poorly before. I do not understand how that's happened. Killer. Killer from the US. What did he send to it? Wow, what a unique engagement. That is ballsy, man. That is insane to me. Where did the other fighter go? There it is. Interesting. That's an interesting decision. Well, then I'm not surprised by that outcome. I've never gone into Onway without air support. That is insane to me. That's insane. Well, I don't know. For Bury, sometimes I just like to chuck 2 infantry at it because I don't really care for Bury. I tend to flood center of the board round 1 straight away, and then I might deal with Bury round 2 or 3 because I don't care for Bury. I really don't. I'd often send just 2 infantry at it sometimes because that's 60% in of itself, right? 2 infantry is rough. I think it is 60%. 2v1. But sending 5 on 2 seems a bit insane to me. He lost everything. That's absolutely insane. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That looks like a mistake. Without air support, that is absolutely insane. I would never do that, but it clearly does work. If I have seen it before. I have seen it before in a ranked. Yeah, they sent 7 infantry, not 5. So that's to be expected, I think. And then he took Burma. No units lost. Yep, I don't know. That could have been avoided, I think, if he just sent 1 single fighter. So, yeah, now, if it was a KJF, I would hit this. But it's not. It won't be a KJF. Despite this horrific result he's suffered on land. Yeah, I think we're just going to do a regular kill Germany. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, I could play around with this fleet, maybe. We'll see what happens here. Alright, let's move on. I think that's enough yapping. I feel like the Allied turns are going to be more convoluted than my Axis games, so we'll see what happens with this. 2 infantry, 2 transports, destroy aircraft carrier as a bog standard, kill Germany, bye. Yeah, so I think, yeah, what I need to do for my allies here, I need to send the fighter to West Russia. I think this infantry, I might move it to Szechuan so the tank doesn't get any ideas of blitzing. Getting that free money and forcing Russia to trade. Debatable whether it's worth the points, but you're claiming 3 points to the price of 6 and potentially killing another infantry, so it's pretty much neutral ground. So yeah, I think the infantry should go there. At least I get to keep Xinjiang for a bonus income, since I'm blocking this tank also, so that also serves a nice purpose. He will have to blitz the tank here if he wants Onway. Yeah, so that is that, and then I'm putting my destroyer and 2 transports here. There is an attack. Is it worth a bomber? Probably not. What I'm going to do is fly my bomber to Rhodesia and to India, I think, so I can zone off some of Japan's well, do I need to do that? I have the US fleet here anyway. I'll decide that later, but I'll be doing a standard kill Germany by. Yeah, if Germany does air, then that complicates a couple things. I think I would prefer to leave my fleet in the Pacific, just to zone off Philippines. Well, there's no combat to be done, right? Yeah, a long round of nothing but me talking. Pure entertainment. I could hit this. Is it worth rolling the dice for a 50-50? I'm probably not going to do that. It's not vital to kill. It really isn't. So, yeah, I want to try and stop that point cap. So I would rather the fleet hang around here. Or at least pin the Japanese fighters to the Pacific. Not a bad spot for it. It really isn't. Interesting. What does the fighter do going there? I don't normally put it there. I can go here. Round 2 and meet round 3. Not a bad move. Yeah. Yeah, round 1, round 2, round 3. So I can get 4 US fighters to India. Right, this fleet right here. So this transport, I think infantry and AA gun. Is there any funny business with an air force hitting this? No. Where's his carriers? Fighter 1, 2, 3, 4. No. No. That is safe. Submarine. Airstrike. I might see if I could borrow the UK cruiser for a turn. I might see his odds on that. I'm not sure what I'm talking about. He only has the sub in range. Yeah, I'll move the Zone 45 with the fighters. It's not a big deal for me. What am I doing? Would he do cruiser on cruiser? I've just realized. Yeah. Yeah. You'd probably do that. So the fleet, if I go for a med shark, the fleet will make it there round 5 into the med. It goes 2, 3, 4, 5. If I do med shark. Yeah, the only problem is if he does a weird Alaska take. That would be strange. I would have to deal with it because I'm moving the fighter here, so maybe that's why I shouldn't do that. Yeah, you can stack 64. Pretty hard. I don't know why you'd do that. I don't think you'll be able to catch me off guard. What do you do? Like what? I know there is a tactic. You could buy a bunch of transports, but that takes till round 3 to sort that out. Because you sit in 61 with Japan, then you move to 59, and then you move to 59 and 64, and threaten with roughly 8 transports on Western. Yeah, that's not really a concern. Alright, carrier, destroyer, 2 transports, and 2 more infantry. And that is the end of the USA 1. $41 IPC for the Americans. Bog standard US income. I'll get a slight increase when I keep Xinjiang for an extra turn. And I plan to sack a transport at the very least. The UK might protect it for me, but I will be sacking a transport to take Norway. Then I'll move to take Morocco round 2 as well. I think that's plain and simple. Deliver the fighters. And I'll see what I'll do with this fleet. I'm not really sure. I might just fully retreat and just do med. We'll see what happens here. The sub will obviously stay and harass. Yeah. Alright. Where's the end of USA round 1? And I'll be back for USA round 2.